Well, after dragging all that in, you can see why this chair is the most valuable tool on the job. It's so nice to be able to just sit back, relax for a couple minutes. Each trip is 10 minutes there to the truck, 10 minutes back. Generally, the more trips I make, the longer it takes, just because I have to stop for more breaks. So today's plan is to try to burn a lot of this brush and start working on the foundation. Today's the last day of building for this trip, and we'll see how much we can get done. I'm pretty excited for the groundbreaking ceremony. So I will talk to you shortly. Thank you. I don't do product reviews very often, but I gotta give a shout out to the Simply straps. It would manage to tie all this wood down to this cart, and it didn't budge the whole trip here. The 10-minute walk in, 200 yards or whatever it is. You wrap it around 4 times and then you just fold it underneath itself and it holds. I thought it was some kind of gimmick, but you know, desperate people try desperate things, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Comes in a long roll and you just cut it to the size you need, and this thing works. I'll try to link it down below if I can figure that out, but Simply straps, take a look at it. So this is the mess that I have. I'm hoping by the end of the day I can have it at least cleaned up somewhat. The big logs I'm going to have to come back next time and move those. But if I can at least get some of this big brush pile down, I'll call that a success. Got the fire going, so I guess we start burning. Right after my wife and I first got married, I got a .22 rifle I bought, and was really excited to try it out. So we went up to my father-in-law's cabin, and my wife and I probably shot, I don't know, 1 million rounds at least. And we went and picked up the targets, and we were just standing there, and she says, you know, just smell that pine, it's so fresh and smells so good. And I thought, yeah, that smells really good, the pine. And didn't think nothing of it. We packed up, we left. About a month later, go over my father-in-law's house. He just got back from the cabin, and he says, you up there shooting at the cabin? My father-in-law's from the UP, so he's got an accent. I try to imitate it at times, sorry. I said, yeah, we did a little bit of plinking. He said, well, you shot down all my pine trees. You know, a few trees I got left on my property, you take them down with your guns. I didn't know what to say. I was dumbfounded. I didn't even realize that's what we did. So my wife and I, we went back up a couple weeks later, and we went and looked, and sure enough, there was just tons of trees, little pine trees knocked down. I can't help think of that story and think of my father-in-law as I sit here with this pine tree down. I can only hear him laughing now. He had 20 acres of trees. The few trees we did take down didn't make a significant dent in his forest, but needless to say, we were more careful where we went shooting after that. But I was just thinking of him and thought I would share that story with you. I thought I'd show you the process of what I went through to create the design for the building. I had a rough idea of the foundation of 10 by 16. Code says it can't be anything over 200 square feet gutter to gutter, so I went 10 by 16 to allow myself a little extra room just in case. I ended up creating the subfloor, the foundation. I ended up coming back with posts underneath here later, but this is kind of where I went off with. I later threw in the subfloor, and then I went with the walls and figured out where I wanted the door, the various windows, and threw in the rafters. so I had a kind of an idea of how I wanted the building to look. I just had that kind of layout. I threw in some boards so I can understand and get the idea of how many sheets of plywood I would need, as well as the sheeting for either side of the building. I also did the front sheathing as well. Wasn't so much to worry about cutting out with the windows and all that. I was just trying to get an accurate count of the windows and what I wanted to do. Also wanted to get a rough idea of how many 2x4s, 2x6s, and all the various building material I needed along the way. Then I took and went to each of the websites, listed out all the material I needed, and went to the big box stores and got pricing for various pieces and parts. And then I went and created a list of what I needed, and I came up with each of the prices for each of the stores for each of the items listed below. So then I was able to come up with the total for everything. You'll notice like some of these I've zeroed out as I went through, because those changed as I went along, but this gave me the basic idea of what I needed to have for each thing. Windows, I ended up with different windows than this, and the siding, but gave me just a basic idea. So as I went into building the various thing, I could just go through and pick out the parts and pieces I needed and create a material list as I went to the store. Again, this is the basic shape that I went with. Yeah, I'll turn the sheathing off. And basic, this was the design that we came up with. I did not, I did order a few extra 2x4s because I figured there would be some needed here. I ended up going with double edge plates in the front and in the back that aren't in the drawing here, as well as, like I said, the posts. The layout of the cabin is 10 by 16. I put in the back posts, or marked where I wanted them. Then I came down 10 feet and marked the radius with 10 feet from the back post. And I did that on both sides. So once I knew the radius of 10 foot, all I had to do is figure out the hypotenuse from that side, and this side, making it a triangle, and I come up with 226.5 inches. So that would be where the post goes, and if the math is right, this should be a perfectly square building. The ground isn't level. I'm not a very good carpenter, so we'll find out together how it turns out. On this groundbreaking ceremony, I can't help but think of my grandparents who left Germany with a hope and a dream for the future. They left Germany on a boat to come to the United States with the dream in mind. I can't help but think of my father-in-law and my brother Rick and my friend Rich on the other side of eternity looking down on me. I think of the people I hunted with now, my cousin Tom, my son Sydney. I've never hunted with my daughter with a gun, really, but I look forward to her coming out, and maybe we hunt some blueberries together, or we hunt with a camera. And of course, no dream can come true without the support and love of your wife. So with that, I dedicate this to them. One of those tappers would be a really good thing to be able to smash that down with, but this is what I got, this is what I'm using. This is leveling sand, so I should be able to take this in and out to make sure everything's level. And this is a cornerstone cookie or brick or whatever you want to call it that I'm going to use. And once I finish the other holes, I'll level this out and we should be good. Okay, so the concept I have here is a brick that'll hold the 6x6 post that's sitting on top of the cookie into the hole we just cut. I've got the board here attached. I'm going to attach it temporarily with a screw. And that's going to be my pivot point for 16 feet down there for sure. And then we'll just level it as we go, but that's the concept of what I'm trying to do. Again, I'm not a professional. I have no idea exactly what I'm doing. This is how I'm building it. It's just a documentary. Take it for what it's worth. Wow, that's level. Just a status update. I got the 3 sides level, square, plumb, hypotenuse checks. So on to the last side here. Okay, so it's a 10-foot building, but I have a 3-inch ledger board on the outside, so I got to take 6 inches off because 3 in front, 3 in back. So that would take me to 9 foot 6 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's measure some joists. $16, 32, 48. Now that the joists are marked and the outside are done, I found the center joist, and now I can put the center beam in, or the leg in. So I didn't want to put it in place till I knew where the center joist was going to be, and now I can put it on either side of the joist to give it more strength. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is just tack each of these in with a screw. Well, everything is put together with screws. And for those out there that say you can't build a cabin with screws, you got to use nails, I got you covered. Now one last thing to finish this up is some leg screws into the 2x4s.